Hi guys, it's me Paul. Welcome back to my channel. With a lot of nurses lately thinking about diving into the travel nursing world, I wanted to share with you guys my actual paycheck and pay breakdown to kind of give you an idea of how it works being paid as a travel nurse, since you are going to be duplicating expenses and you're getting that stipend. And me being here in California, it's a little different with how they do their hours and their taxes. After 8 hours, your last 4 hours of your shift is considered overtime if you're working a 12-hour shift. And they have their California taxes on top of the federal income taxes that you already usually get with your paychecks. And one of the biggest questions when it comes to travel nursing is travel nursing in California worth it? So I'm going to answer those questions and show you my actual paycheck, and let's dive into it. So when you're browsing through potential travel contracts, you'll see a big number that they're offering per week. And that is your untaxed gross pay that they're offering. Once you check that job posting, and you may have to reach out to that agency or talk with a recruiter, they can give you the exact pay breakdown for the hourly rate, the OT rate, the holiday rate, and how much your stipend is. Now, your stipend is tax-free. You want to get a contract with the high-paying stipend because you earn the most money with this because it is untaxed. With my experience in the past, I would rather go with a higher stipend than get a higher hourly rate, because when you calculate it, sometimes if you get a higher rate and a very low stipend, you get taxed a lot on your hourly rate and you end up having a very small net pay. So when you're comparing contracts, look at the stipends, make sure you're getting a higher stipend, and when you calculate and when you get your actual take-home pay, that it's actually what you want and expect. My stipends have ranged from $1,500 to $2,200 per week, and I've definitely seen contracts offering $1,000 or even less for meals and lodging, which doesn't make sense if you are travel nursing, because essentially you are duplicating your expenses to get that tax-free stipend. So make sure you get a contract with a high stipend. So now I'm going to show you my exact paycheck. I work 3 days a week, 12-hour shifts. So 3 12-hour shifts is a total of 36 hours. I used to be able to do 4 days a week, but I just can't do it anymore. It's so mentally and physically exhausting being there for 4 days out of the week. So just working 3 days allows me to relax and go and explore the area. So if I were you, I would definitely go for a 36-hour contract, and a lot of these new agencies and recruiters will try to push for 48 hours just so you could get that bigger, higher rate. But think about your mental health and how you're going to be working that contract. So my gross pay is about 6.6K per week. That's for 36 hours here in the Northern California area. Do keep in mind that this is a very expensive area to live in. Cost of living is high. The housing market here is pretty intense. Gas prices are through the roof. So make sure you check the cost of living wherever you're heading to and make sure that your contract matches that. So I'm gonna look at my phone here. So my agency currently uses Dayforce. It's an app that shows you your pay stubs every week. And other agencies I've used ADP, which is also pretty good. They do the same thing. In my opinion, they're both very simple and easy to use, and you can access your paychecks very easily. Okay, so logging on to Dayforce. Here is my latest paycheck. So now you can see my pay breakdown. It will show you my gross pay. Here is my hourly rate, my OT rate. When we click onto the actual full breakdown, it'll show you the taxes and my stipends. And then that first page, you can see the pie, that little quarter portion is the taxes. So essentially you're getting about 25% out of your paycheck for taxes. So you can see here my regular rate is for the 24 hours I worked. And then my overtime hours is 12 hours because the last 4 of the 12-hour shift is considered overtime. So 4 times 3 is 12 overtime hours. And then there's this double time of 0.55, and that's when it's a California law. When you work over 12 hours, that goes into double time. So these are strict California laws that are in place for that. So it can really add up if you do overtime, and I thought it was really cool that they had that after 8 hours, it's considered overtime. And so you can see my hourly rate for my regular rate is $104 every hour. That's what I earn on the hourly. And my overtime rate is $156. Then my double time rate is $208. So let's look at the taxes here. So if you don't work in the state of California, or you work in a place that doesn't have the extra state tax, you wouldn't have these 2 extra California taxes. But you can see here that my California tax equal to 388 and the other one is 53. So it's about 400 something dollars from the California tax. But when it comes to my regular federal and Social Security taxes, that's kind of the big chunk of it. It's $1,000 for my federal income tax. So my taxes every paycheck every week is $1,700. Yeah, it's quite a bit. When you go down to the reimbursements, you can see how much I get paid every week for meal and lodging. Now, this is important because you need to duplicate your expenses if you are traveling in another state. You need to show that you are paying rent for your home state as well as your current travel assignment state. So for my weekly meal stipend, I get about $500. And for my housing stipend, I get about $1,700 for a total of about $2,200 each week for my stipend. And that adds up. That's completely untaxed. You don't get any taxes taken out of that. And you can even just live off of your stipend since you're getting $2,200 each week. And if you total that every month, you get around $8,800 per month just on stipend. When you calculate my total for the whole month, I earn about, so let's say I earn $4,900 each week times 4. I earn about $19,600 per month as a travel nurse here in Northern California. That is pretty insane. I actually cried when I first became a travel nurse 1.5 years, almost 2 years ago, when I first got my first travel nurse paycheck, because it is such a big difference than what you get paid as a staff nurse. And it's absolutely crazy how nurses are getting paid very little for how much they do. And when you become a travel nurse and go somewhere, you can get paid exponentially more. I mean, this is insane money. But as a traveler, you do get to take care of the COVID patients first. You always get floated first and you get admissions first. So just be prepared for the worst because they know you're getting paid a lot more than the other nurses. Make sure you have proof of your living situations. Make sure you get a copy of your lease for your home state and your travel nurse state, because you need to keep that for when tax season comes around. And people do get audited, so make sure you can show that you're duplicating your expenses. Is travel nursing worth it in the state of California? For me, it has been absolutely worth it, California has safe staffing ratios. They have a lot of resources in their hospitals, and you get mandatory breaks. There are a lot of laws protecting nurses here. And as far as living in the Bay Area, one of the most expensive areas to live in the whole country, I've honestly enjoyed living here in the Bay Area. As long as you can earn and live comfortably here, you can truly enjoy living here. I'm currently renting in a studio apartment with my boyfriend, and it goes for $2,200 per month. And so we split that rent, so I'm only paying $1,100 per month for rent, which I can easily cover with 1 week of stipend. So if you're earning a lot in a good paying contract and you have someone to split your cost of living with, that's the best situation for you and the best way that you can save money. I said this in my previous video, but having a nurse friend or your coworker or your significant other be a travel nurse with you, you will save a ton of money just by doing that, and I highly recommend it. I definitely have talked to other travelers in this area who rent a very expensive apartment, and sometimes they say it's not worth it for them and they would rather go somewhere cheaper and so that they could save more money. So it's really up to you and your situation, but the weather here is beautiful. You have the beach and the mountains, and you can go snowboarding and skiing, or you can go surfing at the beach. And there's also so much food and just a lot of diversity here, which is one of the main things I look for in a travel contract. Also, my hospital that I picked has amazing reviews from other travelers who have been there before. I utilized the Travel Nurse Gypsy group to research any hospitals I may be interested in and see what people said. And a lot of people said that they really enjoyed working in this hospital. And I would have to agree. I really enjoy being here in this hospital and this facility. You always get your break, you always have good ratios, and the team is awesome. So I highly recommend. I had other contracts in other states in the past, and they just don't compare to California nursing. I think a lot of other travel nurses out there agree with this, and it's just brutal with other states because you can get jam-packed with a very difficult assignment and it can be very unsafe. I hope this gives you guys a good insight on how travel nurse paychecks work and the whole breakdown of it. Most paychecks will look exactly just like that with the stipend and your rates. Only difference is that California has extra taxes on top of it, and it kind of gives you an idea of how much you can get paid out here. So I hope this helps someone out there, and it kind of gives you a good range of how much you can earn out here in California. A lot of those really high paying contracts out there for 8 to 10 grand will make you work probably more than 48 to 60 hours per week. So it's a little hard to find 36-hour contracts in that really high range. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!